A direct descendant of Daniel Boone lives down here. Daniel Boone VII. He has a forge shop. He hammers out things. These people tinker and contrive all sorts of things for sale. We're coming to a place where they sell such things. We're going to stop so you'll all have a chance to look around. Look, everybody, we're coming to the P.D. River. This is the river that Stephen Foster wrote the song about. Only later he changed the name to Swanee.
There really is a Swanee River, isn't there, Miss Twitchell?
Yes, dear, farther south. But this is the one he was writing about.
Way down upon the P.D. River.
Far away. That's where my heart is turning ever. That's where the old folks say. All the world am sad and dreary everywhere I go.
I tried to phone you to find out if she was here.
No, she sure didn't come down here, Wiley.
In Jacksonville, they thought a girl of her description was...
Nope, she telephoned to say hello. She was going on down to Memphis next to see her married sister.
You know her name?
No, I don't. But say, check our navigator works from out of Memphis. She'll look him up.
Well, I was going to see Chick anyway.
Well, she'll stay there a while. Now that you're here in Florida, you want to see the place.
Well,
Not just a tourist spot, like the Boxing Tower and Bird Sanctuary at Lake Wales.
Named for whales in England?
Well, it's spelled that way now. But it originally was a whaling ground. W-A-I-L, or lake, rather, where the Indians gathered to whale in time of trouble.
Oh, I see.
That's not the half, of course. I want to show you my Seminoles. I'm deputy Indian agent down here now.
No. How?
No, that's not how. That's why I want you to see them. These Aboriginal Americans are a mysterious people, primitive but proud. The name Seminole means wanderer, and they don't aim to own anything they can't pack up and move on a minute's notice. They live off the land, or perhaps I should say off the water, because fish is an important part of their diet. And you never guess how they catch them. They spear them. They live along the streams hidden in the Everglades. You can come upon a village of their fragile huts one day, and maybe by the next day they're completely gone, bag and baggage. A month later, they may suddenly reappear for a brand new bunch of them. I'll have to go into the backcountry tomorrow, and I'll take you along.
Thanks, Bill. I'd like to. Maybe some other time. I found my way down here, but just now
I know, kid. Just now you've got the Memphis blues.
Of course, Beale Street isn't all of Memphis any more than the Bowery is all of New York. Why, you've never seen anything more modern than downtown Memphis. Or more restful than Forest Park, named for General Nathan Forrest. He's the man that said the way to win a war is to get the fustest with the mostest.
All right, all right. I like your town. I'll even like General Forrest. But I want to know about Connie. Where is she?
That's what I'm telling you. We took her around that night, and the next day my wife and I were going down to New Orleans, and Connie went along. Have you ever been there?
No, but I want to know...
Oh, you don't want to miss New Orleans. It's like walking through one of their old wrought iron gates into another world. A city that was more than 100 years old before it became part of the United States. The old square is still there, only now it's called Jackson Square, in honor of Andy Jackson, the hero of New Orleans. And there still stands one of the oldest churches in America, the St. Louis Cathedral. You'll feel as though you've gone to sleep and woke up in the middle of the 18th century. In the park in front of the church is where the Cassette girls, the shipload of French girls, landed in 1730, so the pioneer settlers could pick themselves wives. The Cabildo, French Capitol building. Now it's a fascinating museum. And the Napoleon House, the house that was prepared for him in the New World, but he never got to come. There's Pirates Alley, where Jean Lafitte used to hide out. Oh, romance so thick you could grab it by the handful.
Okay, it's romantic. But where's Connie?
Well, as a matter of fact, I don't exactly know.
What?
Well, she didn't come back with us. She was heading for California, although she did talk of stopping off to see Tex on the way.
Well, here you are, Miss Connie.
Saw so many. Will he come this way?
Shucks, that little old maverick. Curly will drown him.
He's good, isn't he?
Curly? Oh, he's all right. It's Pancho.
Pancho?
He's the smart one. Why, he's got to know more than the cows, even.
I don't imagine that's very much.
Don't you fool yourself, ma'am. You'd be surprised how much us humans can learn from those critters.
Really?
If you ever get lost, look for a cow trail. It's the shortest way out of a canyon or the best way over a mountain. You see, the greatest danger of getting lost in this country is thirst. Find a cow trail. It's a sure way to water. Well, they can tell if it's rained miles away and light a shuck straight for it. They can tell hours ahead when a bad wester's blowing up and hightail it for broken country where there's brakes for protection.
I had no idea.
Yes, and cows have a language all their own and a way to make each other savvy. When their calves are too young to travel, one cow will stay with 3 or 4 calves while the mothers go to water. When they come back, the other one will go.
I like your cows, Tex.
You'd love Texas. I've got a nice little spread of my own, enough to get married.
I wonder, are they this nice in Minnesota?
What?
The cows.
Oh, you're thinking of Wisconsin.
What I'm thinking of is in Minnesota.
I don't get it.
Los Angeles city limits. What does that mean, driver?
It means they're great boosters. There's no place like L.A. Of course, the tourists head straight for Hollywood. Yonder is Grauman's Chinese Theater, where many of the movie premieres are held, and the stars leave their footprints in the cement. This is the Radio City section of Hollywood, where you get free tickets to see and hear the stars broadcast. This is NBC on the left. A couple of blocks further is CBS. Across the street is the Earl Carroll Theater Restaurant, claiming to have the most beautiful girls in the world. And it could be. There's the Wilshire Brown Derby. You'll want to eat in one of those spots before you leave Hollywood.
But I was sure she was coming here to Santa Monica. What? Whereabouts in San Francisco?
Wiley!
Jose! What are you doing here?
I look up and I say it is the Sergeant Wally Pruitt, no?
It's the civilian Wally Pruitt, yes. And you were that so-hot fighter pilot from Brazil. I remember your whole name. Now, don't stop me. Jose, Raimundo, Vicente, Luis Gayosa.
Luis de Sousa Galloso.
I always forget the Sousa.
Won't you sit down and join me?
Thanks. What are you doing in San Francisco?
Well, it's a mission for my government, which I have almost finished. And you, amigo?
A little mission of my own that I haven't caught up with yet.
So? Well, it is what you say, a good place for it. I love the view from the top of the Mark, the bay and the Bastille, what you call Alcatraz, the magnificent bridges, Twin Peaks and Telegraph Hill. Over that way is the university campus, with its so beautiful campanile. there is the Opera House, where the peace conference was held. Everything is so romantic here, from the old missions to the colorful Chinatown. I met a Chinese businessman. He tell me Confucius say...
I don't care what Confucius say. Can he help me find my girl?
My poor old friend.
Right on time, too.
Every 65 minutes.
What makes geysers?
Well, the center of the Earth is a core of intense heat. In an old volcanic region like this, holes let the water seep down into it. Part of it turns to steam and blows the rest of the water out of the hole, which then gradually fills up again. Hot water plays many strange tricks around here, like these colored hot springs. Mud volcanoes. Paint pots. Hot streams and coal coming together all over the place. One place, there's a hot springs right in the middle of a coal lake.
Well, the place is fantastic.
That's what I meant when I said you could take away the geysers and the hot springs. All 3,000 of them, and Yellowstone would still be an amazing place. Like Connie, we have everything here. The biggest mountain lake in the country. A Grand Canyon all our own.
Of Yellowstone.
That's where the place gets its name. There's a waterfall 3 times higher than Niagara. We have our own petrified forest. This is the perfect place to study the history of the Earth. Geologists have found that 12 different forests have grown here, one on top of the other.
One on top of another?
Yes, you see, the first forest grew, then a volcano covered it with volcanic ash. Then another started and grew on top of it, and so on for at least 12 complete forests.
Why, that must have taken millions of years.
It took a long time. There are thousands of acres of forests out there that have never been touched by an axe. A wildlife preserve and bird sanctuary. It's also a fisherman's paradise, and it doesn't take a license.
Wait till my dad hears that.
This is a great place for riding and hiking trips. Why don't you let me take you on one tomorrow?
Oh, I'm sorry. My vacation's up. I've got to get back to the hospital in Salt Lake. That means leaving tomorrow.
Well, at least you'll be here for our regular campfire tonight.
Oh, yes.
Swell.
Do you always have this much fun here, Ed?
Well, it's a lot more fun when you're here, Connie.
Thanks, Skipper. Is part of your duties, too?
Connie, you knew how I felt about you even in France, and you never gave one of us a tumble.
No.
Or did you?
Ever hear from Wiley Pruitt?
A radio gunner? Don't tell me.
Maybe I've already told you too much.
Now, why couldn't I have been the one that was shot up in that last mission? But he's a grand guy, Connie, and if there's anything that I can ever do...
Thanks. My problem, Mr. Anthony, is how with maidenly reserve I can get that lug from Minnesota to Salt Lake City.
Next bus to Yellowstone, 3 hours.
3 hours, huh?
Give you a chance to see our city, Mormon Temple, Seagull Monument, and other interesting spots.
When's the next bus east?
You don't go east, you go to Yellowstone, you go north.
I know. Maybe I've made a fool of myself long enough.
I beg your pardon?
When's the next bus to Sauk Center, Minnesota?
Sauk Center? Oh, yes, that goes through Omaha. Next out of here to Omaha is 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Thanks. I'll plow around and think it over. Where is that monument?
Seagull? Just across the street in Temple Square. Years ago, we had a plague of grasshoppers. Right at their worst, the birds came in and ate them up. So the monument was erected to the seagulls that saved Salt Lake City.
Heads I look for her once more. Tails I go home. That does it. Sauk Center, here I come.
Let me through, please. I'm a nurse. Wiley. She knows him.
Good. Somebody ought to take care of him.
You heard what the man said.
You dog, I'll bet you did this on purpose. What are you doing here?
Looking for you.
All the way from Minnesota?
Yeah, by way of Boston, Florida, and California.
Take the long way around, don't you?
Well, it's supposed to be the shortest way home, isn't it?
Guess maybe it is, at that.
Next trip, leave your car at home and your troubles behind.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. People across America, from New York to LA, they're leaving their cars at home and going the Greyhound way. No need to worry about driving when there's someone you can trust.
Next trip, leave your car at home and your troubles behind.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. People across America, from New York to LA, they're leaving their cars at home and going the Greyhound way. No need to worry about driving when there's someone you can trust.
Next trip, leave your car at home and your troubles behind.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. People across America, from New York to LA.
America, here we come.
Leaving their cars at home and going the Greyhound way. No need to worry about driving when there's someone you can trust. Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us.
Nothing can match the beauty of America, and no one can show you that beauty like Greyhound. So next trip, relax. Leave your car at home and your troubles behind.
Go Greyhound. No need to worry about driving when there's someone you can trust. Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. People across America, from New York to LA.
Grandpa, I'm coming to see you.
They're leaving their cars at home and going the Greyhound way. No need to worry about driving when there's someone you can trust. Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us.
America is discovering the comfort and convenience of Greyhound. We're going more places more often than anybody else for a price that's tough to beat. Just sit back, relax, and let Greyhound take care of the rest. So next trip, leave your car at home and your troubles behind.
No need to worry about driving when there's someone you can trust.